Good day and very, very warm greeting to you. Wonderful that you can join this meditation experience. And together, we're going to look at this idea of being careful, which, there's certain virtues that we just love. They're just so attractive to us. Things like love and peace and kindness. And then there's some that I call the boot camp virtues that don't seem quite as attractive to us, like accuracy and discipline and careful. I remember once being in the spiritual headquarters of the Brahma Kumaris, and it was a retreat over many days. And at the end of the retreats, there's usually a lovely ceremony that includes a sweet and a blessing, and a senior is brought in to give these gifts. And this particular day, something must have happened because the blessings either were not available or that it was in their plan that they not have blessings. But either way, the senior was asked to come up with the blessings on the fly. As the soul sits in front of them, they have to come up with a blessing. Now, I've had this happen to me a couple of times, and I actually, we've received so many, I don't remember many of the blessings, but I remember it's two occasions that this has happened. I remember them completely. So there's something powerful when it comes from this kind of place. So I sit down in front of the senior, and they're looking at the soul, at the self, and what's the blessing they'll give. And slowly it comes out, and it was loveful, which sounded great, and careful. I was like, hmm. I love this blessing, loveful and careful, because there is no loveful without careful. And rather than seeing as cautious or danger, I think of it as full of care. We love to be caring, and we know that the things that are precious to us will not last, will not be sustained without care. I met a young mother, just had an infant. It's not like the infant and they just ignore the infant's constant care of this infant. They have great love for the development of the child. So constant care, being very full of care. So it is loveful. They really are one and the same. Now, how does this apply to the self? How am I going to be loveful and careful for the self? Well, we take care of things we value. So, step one is to experience the value of the self. And then step two is what care will be needed to enrich, deepen, and sustain the value of the self. So, let's go and experiment. Sitting comfortably, seating the body with care. This body serves me tirelessly throughout the day. And so, as a return in this moment, let me seat it with care. Make sure the back is supported. The ribs are open so it can breathe and the organs aren't being crushed. Seating the body with care. And maintaining that attitude, that momentum of care out of love for the body, I turn my attention inwards to my inner world, the activity in my inner world. This is where I really feel most present. When my attention is outside on situations, tasks, and timelines, somehow my connection to the self gets lost in the shuffle. I become a human doing. But at quiet moments like this, caring moments like this, I feel I'm giving myself 100% of my attention, very present for the sound. And it doesn't seem to have anything to do with the body or the roles or the tasks or relationships or even the possessions. It's my own presence. I am present for myself. I, the thinker, I, the experiencer, I, the being, the life in this body, very present on such a basic level for the sound. This moment of deep self-care. Sometimes I'm so caught up outside, I have a very ordinary sense of the self and very conditional on what I do, how I do, what I know, what I give or take, very conditional. Rarely do I value myself for all the right reasons. Just myself, not dependent on anything outside. In this quiet moment, knowing I am the being inside this body, this wondrous spark of life inside. I visualize myself as a tiny jewel, a diamond. I'm seated here behind the forehead. I have all these wonderful facets to the self. And I am of indescribable value. The truth is, not even all the diamonds put together in this world can equal the value of a human soul. We are, after all, life itself. Not ordinary at all. Very, very sacred. Very precious. Perhaps the only soul who is aware of our value is God. Not ordinary consciousness about us at all. When I am quiet and just listen to the presence of the self, I can begin to understand what is my value. All the most precious resources in the world can only be found within me. Everything responsible for quality of life can only be found within the human spirit. We may try to find it outside, but time slowly reveals only can be found within the self. Peace, love, truth, beauty, kindness, everything that makes up the different facets of quality of life can only be found within me the soul. That's how precious we are. Do I care for myself as such a being of value? Do I make time to polish and cultivate these resources within the self? It is said a worthy soul uses their time in a worthwhile way. Very careful with their time. Given that I am the source of quality of life in my life, and I seek quality of life, it makes sense to give time to nurturing the self, invoking those qualities within the self, experiencing them and using them with care in my day-to-day life. Beginning every day in such a caring way, experiencing the beauty within the self, that deep reservoir of peace within the self, I, the soul, that incredible capacity to be kind and forgiving, compassionate, the maturity within the self, experiencing this at the beginning, the foundation of my day, ensures whatever scenes unfold, it will be a great day. I have accumulated, that is emerged, the greatness of the self, the value of the self, with so much care. And now I simply express that quality as I go through the day. I will have to be careful, attentive, not to lose the point as I go through the day, not to be distracted or reactive, constantly remembering the sacredness of the self, so careful with my awareness so I can be so loving during the day. This is what I will choose to practice today and tomorrow and the next day. Beginning my day with a lot of care, deep love, that is recognition for my own value by experiencing it, making time, and then going through the day, remembering the value of the self by using it, expressing it. And at the end of the day, being just as caring as at the beginning, knowing whatever happened, doing the best I could, listening, learning, and letting go. 3 powerful acts of self-care at the end of the day. Om Shanti. Have a wonderful and precious day.